Alrighty, so here we go with the Ms.Pacman repair. In the cabinet itself, it tries to boot. It starts the boot sequence, and then just after the boot sequence, when it goes to boot into the actual game, I hear a soft pop on the speaker, which is probably normal, and then blank screen. Now, in the cabinet, I check voltages, and we have good 5 volts on the board, but something is weird here. I did notice that obviously somebody has done work to this. You can tell by the new caps installed. There's one back here near the audio amp. There's the 2 new ones here. There's a new one here. There's a new one here. There's a new one, or 2 new ones here. The board itself looks okay. I haven't looked at the bottom yet, but this edge connector here looks really bad. I don't exactly know if that's going to show up well on the camera, but I mean, we had appropriate voltages, so I don't think this is it, but this is kind of beat up here. This looks like it's new. This looks like it's been burned away before, and this is new. That's not the original here. Let's take a look at the other side of the board here. Oh yeah, they wrapped that around, and then they soldered it to the actual board there. These diodes look a little rough too. But again, like I said, I was getting good voltage, so I don't think that's the issue. I may start checking some of these ROMs here to make sure that they're okay. I'm gonna have to. Oh, that looks a little rough, don't it? Is that coming across on this? Is that just the light doing that? Oh, it could be. Is that being replaced as well? Where are we here? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Whew. Okay, yeah, that's a little rough there, I would say. Now I don't have an appropriate harness to go from here to JAMA, so I'm gonna have to wire directly to this and feed 5 volts in somewhere else so that I can get this to boot and show up on screen. Now what would be wild is if I do that and boot it up with a normal power supply and it actually boots. You know, that would lead me to believe that something's going on in the power supply in the original cabinet. But let me get the pin out and figure out where I can feed 5 volts into here, 5 volts DC directly, and bypass all this AC stuff, and then go from there. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I'm not 100% on these Pacman boards, only because I don't get them very often, and you know, actually, there's not very many around here. So, like I said, it would start to boot. It would start the boot sequence in the cab. And I went and hooked up a 5 volts, because you can drive 5 volt DC into the logic and bypass this here. I mean, I've had boards way bigger than this, with multiple layer boards run fine with that power supply and not have a huge voltage drop. Now, I can only get like 4.1 volts with that thing cranked, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? So I'm like, okay, let me start checking some stuff. And on continuity, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but for example, this 74 LS367, now 8 is ground and 16 is VCC. Well, that's a short. And I'm almost positive it's the same on the 139. That's a short. Now on this 74 LS, I think that's a 75. I believe that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, and ground. That's a short. But what I don't understand is if it was shorted, then why would it even start to boot? Like I said, I'm not familiar with these, but that's mind-blowing that it would start to boot, and that's when it's going to quit. So, on the adapter board here, I removed this because we have a short here too. The short literally carries from here onwards. Now, we had a short here. I removed this ribbon cable, this adapter, and the short went away here. So I'm like, okay, what is happening here? Now, as far as I can tell, like the AC voltage comes in here, goes through this regulator, goes through all this fun stuff, and then provides the board with 5-volt logic. Now, I haven't checked the pin out on this transistor here, but this, I believe this is the regulator right here, and this is ground, obviously, because it is connected to the heatsink. I mean, at least I think it is. It does have an insulator. I might not be getting a good connection there. Let me see if I can just scratch away some of this here and just get to the metal here. I just want to make sure that I am getting a proper connection here. And, I don't think so. And that, again, that could be the way it is. But if this is the center here, which it is, that seems shorted to that pin, but not that pin. But these two pins are shorted out like that? That doesn't seem right. What about this little cap down here? No, but these here, those seem shorted. And no, they're not. I don't think they're supposed to be. That doesn't seem shorted at all. That diode seems shorted. These ones don't. These ones don't at all. This resistor here, I think this is, what is this one here? I think that's only a 5 ohm resistor. That's why that's going to show up as a short. But I believe this one's a 50 ohm resistor. That's showing up shorted. And mind you, the only thing connected here is just video. And it's not this. I mean, I can disconnect this. It's definitely not. Well, I mean, if this machine was shorted, you wouldn't get the no signal that's showing up there. That diode again. Shorted, but these aren't. That's not. See, this one isn't. This one isn't. This transistor here, this doesn't seem to be shorted no matter which way nope, not at all. This one here, what is this here? I mean, this could be shorted for all I know. Oh, that almost seems like that is too. Does it not? Yeah, that seems shorted. Well, I'll check that out. I'll make sure that those pins are supposed to be what they are. This cap, shorted. This one, everything seems shorted here. It seems like a lot of stuff on this side of the board Seems to be okay up until we get to this logic here. This cap, that's not shorted. This little tiny diode, it's not shorted. This transistor up here, I know you can't see. Q1, I believe that is. That doesn't seem shorted at all. This little diode, nope. This resistor, this cap way up here, it doesn't seem shorted. Huh. I'm going to have to really dive into this and see what the hell's going on here. Okay, so I decided to start removing boards here. And this board obviously goes here. I know that might be hard for you to see, but there's no... I'll get the camera out here. There's no way that's factory. So how the hell did that happen? Let me show you here. Yeah, there's no way that's original. Not a chance. So I'm just going to remove this board. I'm going to remove this board. I'm just going to see if the short goes away, what's happening, see if I can find this somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. This can't be right. Okay, so this was pretty stupid on my part because I didn't film it. Of course not. Let's see if we can do this like this. First of all, let me turn the light on. So this is the Ms.Pacman, of course. So after checking, I thought we had a short, and we don't. That's normal for this board to have, when it's off the harness, to have a short, which seems like a short between VCC and ground on chips. Well, that's normal, and that's something, like I said, I'm not very familiar with these boards, but I am now. So I started, okay, let's go through and do a really, really good visual inspection of things and what's happening, because there's been a lot of work done to this board over the years. And what I noticed is a lot of these sockets, sorry, this is going to be a little tough. A lot of these sockets were corroded, rusty, pins were missing off of chips. So I had to make new pins. I had to sand with 4000 grit all the legs, cleaned all the sockets. It actually looks worse than what it actually is because it's actually not that bad. They are nice and clean. Clean all the sockets of the subboards. That one as well. The socket of the ribbon cable and the socket of this. Now, let me, how can we do this? Because I want you to experience this as I do it. Actually, let's just pull. So pushing in is what makes the connection, but you can also pull it out for service mode. And my first indication was the second pop that I heard. Now let's see here. Is this monitor bad too? No, it can't be. What the hell is happening here? Give me 2 seconds. We might have an edge connector problem as well. Nope, that didn't do it. I literally just had the game up and running again. Sorry, I know I'm not filming anything here. I just don't know where I can put this so that you can see what's happening here, because this is getting strange now. I mean, now at least I'm getting life out of the board, so I believe that it's not exactly a board issue. I think we've got other problems going on here. Yeah, because for the amount of time that was on, I don't think it should be that warm. Let's get that back on there. We might have some work to do here. on this edge connector. I could just make sure that that's not touching anything. I mean, we could have a bad ribbon cable as well. Let's see what happens here. Oh, see? Hold on. I heard that second pop. Nothing on screen? Isn't that wild? Very, very strange. Well, I guess she's going back on the bench, isn't she? Yeah, we've got something else going on here. Because I literally had it up and running. Let's go downstairs and let's check these ROMs and stuff again. Yeah, see, we definitely have some kind of socket issue here, for sure. I mean, the game's up and running, that's for sure, but we have some kind of socket issue still. And it's literally either that board, or that board. The main board seems okay. That is fucking cranked. That does not need to be that loud. And it is running. Let's just take a look and see how this actually looks here. Let's kill that. I see the monitor needs to be adjusted as well, because that looks like crap. Huh. Yeah, so we definitely have a socket issue as well. And I mean, I think these things are kind of known for having crappy sockets. Yeah, let's get it back on the bench. I'll go through the sockets and see if I can't get this held down properly. Okay, so I went through, cleaned the sockets again, held them down with zip ties. I'm going to try to do this one-handed here. I cleaned the edge connector again. It was so filthy. I mean, after 30 Q-tips just on one side, and I did both sides, crap was still coming off the edge connector. So let's see if we can do this one-handed here. Just want to get her down nice and gently at first, and then we'll get that over there like that. Let's go ahead and get the edge connector on. We're gonna have to move that a bit. Two hands, but I'm sure I can do this one-handed here. Maybe not. Give me 2 seconds here. Let's get this edge connector on. I'm almost wondering if I should go ahead and put fresh solder on the edge connector and just give it a nice, real tight connection. Okay. Okay, that should be on. It should be on, no problem. I just want to make sure nothing's touching anything. Let's pull the... Oh, shit. Well, it's got to be plugged in, right? That's probably one of the requirements is power. Okay, let's get that plugged in. Again, let's do this in real time here. There's the first pop. Oh, I didn't hear the second one. Do I not like that? What in the hell is happening here? Okay, let's kill it for a second. Is it a bad ribbon? Because this here is this not this isn't the bus controller, is it, or anything? It could be. I'm not exactly sure. Let's just make sure that is definitely on there properly, and so is that. That's definitely tight. So is that. And that edge connector is down. Nope. Jesus. It is just that bad. Okay, give me 2 seconds here. What do you know? We also have proper color back as well. So, I have determined that it is definitely this board right here. Now, do I just go ahead and bite the bullet, take it all back apart, undo this, put a new... I can almost guarantee that if I shut it down, you can hear it running. Actually, let's turn it up so you know it's running. Right, we'll turn it off. Now, if I go ahead and if I move this board, I can almost guarantee it's going to stop working. Maybe not. Oh, yep. There it is. See? Done. All right. Turn it back off. Mess with this board a little bit. Oh, I bet you that came back on. I can almost guarantee it. Hang on. Because I heard it reset. Yeah, it's most definitely this. It is most... Let me just restart it here. No, it is most definitely this board here. There's something real funky going on here. I can kind of see... If I mess with this board, if you look right here on the side of this monitor, right here, as I wiggle this board, see it? Yep. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to take this board apart and this joystick is junk too. So it's definitely this board here, and this is what we're gonna take this back downstairs, undo all this, and see what we can do about this. All right, so we got a new socket on here, and you know, if I would have paid attention to this before, where's my we'll use these. You'll notice here, you see how a lot of this trace, say from this pin here, the actual solder mask is gone, and here, and here, and here. Now, yeah, sure, that happens, and here, you know, when you replace sockets, but that would have been a good indication that work was done here before. And if you look right here, you can see this trace right here. seems to be a little on the dark side. Right there. Can you see that right there? So let me check that line too and make sure. But we got a new socket on here. The only thing I had was a 16-pin socket. So I had to go ahead and use a 16 and just pull the 2 pins and put this socket on. Without strapping it down, I just want to see. Let's just see here. Let's get this in the right orientation here. I just want to make sure that that is, first of all, the right orientation. I just want to make sure that this is super, super tight. With this being a newer socket, that should be, yeah. See, that makes a world of difference. Okay, without strapping it down like this, let's go test it. So we should do this together. And like I said, it's not strapped down. All I did was put it in, and I haven't touched it. So this, if that was the issue, that should cure it. One more pop. Yep. Come on, baby. Ah, for sure. Now let's make sure that we have proper color going on here. And we do. Good stuff. Now, I know a lot of older midway boards like this. They are known for bad sockets. So that was definitely the issue there. Besides, having the corrosion on these ROMs here. Not a lot of corrosion anywhere else. Even though I did clean the sockets here, I cleaned the socket underneath here. That's not the problem though, but this was, I cleaned the socket here. That's all good. So yeah, this will wrap this one up and we can move on to this one. Now this, I believe, is just a monitor issue. When I first booted it up, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show it on YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, it's a hacked ROM. The ROMs are hacked, and it's... I think Pac-Man, when he hits a power pellet, turns into a penis. So let me get this all back together and where it's supposed to be, and hook this fan up to where they had it hooked up, and we'll take a look at that. So just to finish up on the Ms.Pacman, everything's good to go. Works great. Even the joysticks are actually, they're not bad. They're not bad. But like I said, at the end of that video, I'll give you a little preview of what this one's doing. So let me get the plug, and we'll plug it in and I'll show you. Okay, so first of all, they've cut the ground off of this, which is horrible. And you can see where it's spliced in to another cord here. That's lovely. And yeah, this might be a little bit difficult to see, but let's plug it in. And you can see how we got some sort of collapse here on this side here. It looks like the flyback's turned way up too. I know that's going to be difficult to see, but there we go. See, everything seems to... Can we counter that with some light? Yeah, okay. Everything seems... Oh, this is Ms.Pacman too. What the hell? Oh, first of all, so here's your indication here. Look at the hearts. Look at... So it's Ms.Pacman, and yeah, those look like... Those, if I'm not mistaken. Can we hit start? Oh no, because there's no credit. The other one's on free play. This one is. So the ghosts look normal until they eat a power pellet. Let's see if I can keep my... Look at that. Are those what I think they are? I think so. I think so. I don't know why this one was converted to a Ms.Pacman, but whatever. And not even a good one. It's a hacked version of it. So that's where we're going to end this video, and we'll start on this one next. Thanks for joining me on this one here. I'm sure they'll be very happy to get that one back and, you know, have some fun with it. So like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'll see you in the next one.